All right. Hi, everyone. Hope everyone is having a great day. I'm Steve, the Frugal Father. And in today's video, I want to talk to you about how you learn about money, how I learned about money. So I learned about money a variety of different ways. Um, I think, again, when you're young, you tend to um, rely on your friends, people that are the same age as you, to give you advice like, oh, hey, blah, blah, blah. But again, they haven't had that life experience um, that folks of older ages do, right? So I started to learn stuff as I went into, my parents kind of taught me the basics, right? Like, I had my first job, I had to open up a checking account, a savings account. They just told me to put, X amount of dollars away per paycheck, which I did. And then, um, kind of that was it, right? As I kind of started thinking about, as I got older, right, into college, looking at my grandparents. They had lived through a lot of different times, right? They lived through the Depression. They lived through, you know, um, great savings rates. They lived, so they had a lot of different experiences, right? So they could talk to you about it. Um, and sometimes they didn't, right? I mean, sometimes you learn by just observing, right? Like, I knew that, they handed me, 20 bucks on my birthday. They handed me savings bonds at, holidays and things like that. So I knew that they believed that they had money that they saved and they wanted to gift, what they have earned. Um, they definitely emphasized savings, um, certificates of deposits, um, and again, observations, right? Like, if a car got too old, they were able to go out and get a new car or their roof. I never heard them say anything about, debts or credit card debt or any personal loans or things like that. I just said, well, we got a new roof, and that was it. And um, having conversations with my parents about that, saying like, hey, did they have to go into debt to get a new roof or buy a car? Did they have to get a loan? And my mom said no. They thankfully saved, from all their years of working and stuff, and were able to, pay it outright. So I learned the value of that, of not having that stress, that they were able to, just maintain the basics, but that they um, had a comfort inside about that they were financially okay. Um, Another way that I learned about finances was really through taking different classes in college. I strongly encourage anyone, it does not matter what your major is, to take a personal finance class or two. um, because that's really how you're going to learn. That's really how you're going to learn and understand. You can go to the library. You can, of course, look on YouTube. Um, but there's a lot of people out there on YouTube that can give you all kinds of advice. But have they lived through different cycles? Have they lived through high inflation? Have they lived through high interest rates? Have they lived through low savings rates to high savings rates? Have they lived through, recessions, depressions, all those different things, right? Because as you're going out and you're making money and you're saving money and you're investing money, you have to understand all the pieces that go in to how you manage your money, right? How are you going to make it grow? How are you going to, um, you know, maybe be a little bit conservative in some areas, be a little more aggressive in other areas? What are all the fees involved? Penalties, all of those things you need to know and learn. But if you're not asking questions, if you're not talking to different groups of people, different ages, different backgrounds, um, you know, you're not going to get that big picture, right? You're just going to get the here and now. For instance, if housing is always going up, right? You're always going to think, well, housing is always going to go up, but it doesn't always go up, right? It goes down. So, someone your age may be in the same boat that you are. And you're like, oh, absolutely, man, go get that house. It's only going to appreciate in value, blah, blah, blah. But maybe somebody that's, midway through their life might say, well, here's how it kind of works. Here's the ups and downs of it all. So I definitely think that everyone needs to go to personal financial classes. They need to look at books, they need to do trainings, and they, definitely need to educate themselves and continue to educate themselves, right? You learn and you grow throughout your whole life. Just because you may learn enough that you think in your late 20s or early 30s, you still have a ton to learn throughout your entire life because your life is constantly changing, right? The goals you may have in your 20s and 30s may be to buy a house or pay off your cars or student loans, which is great. But the goals you may have in your 40s and 50s may be to open up your own business, how to start an LLC, how to start the business. Maybe you want to buy land. How do you do all those things, right? That's a whole different financial mindset and learning that you have to learn, right? So again, they're all building blocks on each other. So I definitely encourage everyone to have conversations. You don't have to get into people's personal business. Just ask, how does interest rates work? What are, some investments that you would recommend? Just different things like that. Um, so that's what I would definitely recommend anyone and everyone to do, is to really get a wide variety of folks. You can talk to different people at work, you can talk to different people in your family, different friends, all the above. Do your research. Make sure that when you're doing your research, the information you're looking at is credible. Again, I use online, right? Anybody can sit here and tell you that this is the next best thing, right? Like buying this certain stock or investing in this precious metal or whatever the case may be. But until you do your homework and your own research, don't just go off of what one person is saying. Gather lots of information. I hope everyone is doing great. I hope that you have learned something today. I continue to learn. I'm learning a ton right now in my 40s, and I'm super excited for what's next. I hope that you're always excited for what's next in your life. Go ahead and please comment, like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you guys in the next video.